Hey, I'm Jen Burton with HaveHimYourWay.com, and a couple of months ago I got a fantastic story in my inbox from a very lovely lady. The story was called Johnny Lingo and His 8-Cow Wife. Now this is a very important story that I want to talk about today because it has an excellent message about men and their adoration. And I want to take the story and give you a little bit more, a little bit pow pow, so that you can have an even more fantastic dating life. So for a brief synopsis of the story, you want the rundown. You have Johnny Lingo, you have Sarita, you have the author. Johnny lives on island number 1. Now he goes to island number 2 to ask for Sarita's hand in marriage from her father, to which he pays 8 cows for her hand in marriage. Now they're all baffled on island number 2 because Sarita is described by her peers on island number 2 as a very homely, plain, scared of her shadow kind of woman, not prized much for her beauty, for her intellect, or anything more. She's not prized for being, wife material. Well, after Johnny pays his 8 cows, he and his wife Sarita move back to island number 1. And of course, Johnny is supposedly this fantastic businessman, but they start to make fun of him a little bit on island number 2 because apparently, according to them, he has really, really crappy negotiation skills because he paid so much for a woman that would merit just maybe 1 to 2 cows. Now, the author, of course, hears about this story and he goes to island number 1 in order to do some business and get some stuff from Johnny Lingo himself. And as he gets there, Johnny starts to pry him, a little bit about the information about what the islanders have said about him. And he also, at the same time, meets Johnny's wife, Sarita, who is the most glorious, beautiful, gorgeous woman he's ever seen, who just lights up a room. And the author is he's in disbelief. He doesn't understand how this could be the exact same woman that the islanders had described. So as Johnny is prying him for information, he reluctantly lets him know that the islanders are very surprised that he paid so much for a very homely, plain wife, somebody that they didn't feel merited 8 cows at such a high caliber. And to which Johnny replied, "Do you ever think," he asked, "what it must mean to a woman to know that her husband has settled on the lowest price for which she can be bought? And then later, when the women talk, they boast of what their husbands paid for him. One says 4 cows, another maybe 6. How does she feel, the woman who was sold for only 1 or 2? This could not happen to my Sarita. I wanted Sarita to be happy, yes, but I wanted more than that. You say she is different. This is true. Many things can change a woman. Things that happen inside, things that happen on the outside. But the thing that matters most is what she thinks about herself. On the island, Sarita believed she was worth nothing. Now she knows she is worth more than any other woman in the islands." Now I know what you're thinking. This story just completely, it uplifts me, it gives me the warm fuzzies. It is a fantastic story. And to have a man in your life who adores you that much, that he would gift you with that, is just beyond amazing and incredible. Now, obviously, I love this story. I love men and their stories of great, great adoration and what men will do for women. But the truth be told, in our modern dating society, that this is getting fewer and fewer and more far between because of the fact we as women, as modern women, aren't emotionally equipped to receive this kind of adoration. And especially when your self-worth has diminished quite a bit, or something that you haven't worked on in a very, very long time, then you're emotionally not equipped to process this, to digest this, to hold on to this kind of adoration, let it grow in your life, let it develop, and many times we shut it down very, very quickly. Okay, so now you want to become an 8-cow girlfriend and inspire men to adore you? It's very, very simple, a lot more simple than you think. 3 steps. And step number 1, it's all about your self-worth, baby. Self-worth is not exactly what you think. It's not about what you think about yourself. It's not about what you're doing. It's not about how perfect you are. Self-worth is, you ready for it? Self-worth is how much you enjoy being you. And let me tell you a secret. Men love to be around women who enjoy themselves, who enjoy being who they are. It's very, very sexy. It's very attractive, very alluring, and will make you irresistible. And then step number 2, also a very important step. You are going to stop putting out the vibe that to men that you don't need them in your lives. Because yes, girlfriend, I know there's nobody that we really need in our life, but what we do is if you want a man in your life, you have to put the vibe out there, cut that one off, and put the vibe out there that you are ready and open and willing for something new and magnificent. So if you're just saying all the time, I don't need a man, I don't need a man, I don't need a man, all he is hearing is, I don't want a man in my life, and that really cuts off your man mojo. So just stop it. Just cut it out right this second. Which brings me to step number 3, is learn to appreciate all the men in your life. And this is a very, very simple exercise, but a lot of us forget to do it. We get so focused and caught up in all the things that men do wrong and all their flaws that all we do is build ourselves up with resentment. For instance, I say very frequently, the more good you find in men, the more good men you will find. If you want to surround yourself with lots of great men, you have to start appreciating all the men that are already in your life. And do this by looking at the small stuff. For instance, if you see a man that you normally wouldn't be attracted to, find something that you find attractive about him. Or let's say with your father, brother, your children, even your male children, learn about their good qualities and say thank you for all their good qualities. One of the biggest things we do as women is that we not only do we convince men that we don't want them in our lives, but we showcase this time and time again by not appreciating them. And that all that does is it's diminishing men's capacity to adore us and to do these grand gestures of love because they're afraid they're just going to get shut down. I was speaking to a male colleague the other day, and a perfect case in point was there was a woman who was carrying a baby and a bag of groceries, and she was opening her car door. And when my colleague went to go help her out with the door, she said, "No, I don't need your help, blah, 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 blah." And all this does, when we shut men down like this, instead of saying thank you or no thanks and kindness, is it tells them that we really don't want them around. So stop all that. Stop doing that. And come back to your appreciation game. Now, that doesn't mean that all the time that you have to accept every offer a man has, but be more open, be more willing to let him do things for you. It doesn't make you less of a woman, and it doesn't make you needy. The only thing you have to do are these 3 simple steps. Remember? You're going to define your self-worth. You're going to get excited about who you are. Number 2, you're going to stop putting out the vibe that you don't want men in your life. And number 3, you're going to appreciate the men around you. And do these simple steps. Start using them consciously on your day-to-day ongoings. And then do me a favor and start commenting about it below. I want to know about how everything starts to change around you and your interactions with men change, and how much more attention from men that you're actually getting by doing this every day. So comment below, and if you like this video, be sure to like it on Facebook and Twitter and share it with your girlfriends, and make sure you have some fantastic dating adventures. Take care. Bye. See you soon.
Ooh, baby, I love your way every day, yeah, yeah.